The fire's warm, but the woods never rest. You've found your way beyond the pines. I wasn't supposed to stop that night. Just a straight shot home, 8 hours on the interstate, caffeine and bad playlists to keep me awake. But somewhere past midnight, the rain came down hard enough to erase the lanes, and my eyes felt like sandpaper. When the next exit appeared, I took it. No plan, no thought, just escape from the storm. The sign at the end of the ramp said, "Welcome to Hollow Bend." Only the O was burned out. The whole town looked asleep, or dead. A diner's neon flickered behind its closed blinds. A gas station sat dark, one pump hanging loose like a broken arm. Then I saw the glow of a lone motel sign across the road. Vacancy, Pine Rest Motel. I almost laughed. The word rest felt like a dare. Inside the tiny office, a half-awake clerk sat behind a pane of smudged bulletproof glass. A black and white TV played static behind him. When I tapped the bell, he flinched like he'd been electrocuted. "Room 7, he said without looking up. "Cash or card?" As I handed him my card, I noticed the faded missing person poster taped beside the desk. Water-damaged photo. Man, late 30s, last seen at the Pine Rest Motel. I pointed at it. "That from around here?" The clerk blinked slow. "Old. Don't worry about it." Then, almost as an afterthought, "Stay in after midnight. The power acts up." Outside, rain hissed against the cracked pavement. I trudged to my room, number 7, near the end of the row. Across the lot, room 8's light was still on, curtains drawn tight, a pale, pulsing glow spilling through the edges like a heartbeat. Inside, the room smelled of dust and wet carpet. Floral curtains, faded carpet, humming heater. I tossed my bag on the bed and turned on the sink. The water came out brown, then cleared. I told myself I'd sleep a few hours, be gone by sunrise. But the quiet was too heavy, like the room was holding its breath. Then, 3 slow knocks. Not loud, just deliberate. I checked the clock, 3 a.m. "Yeah?" I called. No reply. Only rain tapping on the window. Through the peephole, I saw him, a man standing perfectly still under the porch light. Mid-30s, soaked to the bone. His face pale, eyes half closed like he hadn't slept in days. When I cracked the door, he leaned forward slightly. "Sorry," he whispered. "I locked myself out. Room 8. Could you tell the clerk to open it for me?" I nodded, too tired to think, and headed back through the rain toward the office. The clerk hadn't moved. "Guy from 8 locked out," I said. He frowned. "Nobody's in 8. I told him I'd just spoken to someone. He turned his monitor toward me. Security cam feed. Room 8 was dark, its door sealed with yellow caution tape fluttering in the wind. "Fire damage," he muttered. "Been empty since last winter." Back in my room, I peeked through the blinds. Room 8's light was still on, soft white glow behind the curtains. The caution tape was gone. My pulse thudded in my ears. Maybe the clerk mixed up the rooms, I told myself. Maybe someone new checked in. I turned on the TV to drown out the storm. Static, then shapes. For half a second, I thought I saw a face in the snow of the screen. The same soaked man staring back at me. Then the image vanished. 3 harder knocks. I froze. "Sir?" I said through the door. "The clerk said no one's—" Another knock, right beside my ear. Then silence. When I finally looked through the peephole, no one there.
just the rain and the light from across the lot, flickering like a dying bulb. I didn't sleep. Every few minutes, I'd hear slow footsteps in the hallway, even though I was at the end of it. Once, the phone rang. When I picked it up, I heard my own voice whisper, "Could you tell the clerk to open my door?" Then, static. At some point, dawn began leaking through the curtains. I packed fast and went to return the key. The clerk looked up like he'd been expecting me. "You stayed in 7, right?" "Yeah." "See anything weird last night?" I hesitated. "Guy said he was from 8. The clerk exhaled through his nose. "That room caught fire last winter. The man inside wouldn't leave. Kept shouting that someone was locked out. When we broke the door down..." He stopped, eyes distant. No one was there. He slid a small Polaroid toward me. Old photo of the motel before the fire. 2 guests standing outside room 8, smiling at the camera. One of them was the man from last night. Outside, the morning air smelled of wet asphalt. I walked down the line of rooms until I reached 8. The door was charred black. A padlock held it shut. The window frame melted. Curtains burned to ash. No light, no number on the door anymore. As I turned back toward my car, the wind carried a faint tapping. 3 soft knocks, coming from inside the locked room. I threw my bag in the passenger seat and gunned it out of the lot. The rain had stopped, but fog crawled along the road ahead. After a mile, the radio came alive on its own. Static at first, then a voice, low and wet, whispering through the speakers. "Hey, could you tell the clerk to open my door?" The static swallowed it again. When I glanced at the rearview mirror, the motel was shrinking behind me in the mist. And just for a heartbeat, room 8's window glowed white.